Hey, welcome to another fun episode of 5LX Garage. And today we're actually going to do one that is really quick, really easy. Not a lot of people know how to do it. Not a lot of people have the capability of doing it. But we're going to do some welding today. Now, as you can see, look, the Jeep is out. It's clean. I have a floor now. That's awesome. And guess what else I did? Yes, I cleaned off my welding table. This is something that I kind of made years ago. This was actually a shelving unit that I just kind of cut off, kind of welded up some legs. This was the top part. I do need to work on a little bit more. It's a little rusty now. It's got a couple things I need to grind off to make it flat again. But this is what we're going to be welding today. Now, this is a rather thick piece of steel. This is about a 1 inch in diameter piece of it's not even a tube. It's just solid stock. Now, during the pandemic, Steph and I have been having an issue with working out because we can't go to the gym, so we had to make our own stuff. Now, you've probably seen all the stuff I made upstairs for myself. She doesn't like to go up there because there's just dirt and dust and saws and everything like that, so she doesn't like going up there, but she does like going up into the extra room to actually work out. Now, I did make her a bar out of a piece of dowel rod that I had laying around, but it is wooden. It doesn't weigh anything. We actually went ahead and ordered this one. I'm not going to say what company it was because they suck. They really do. It took 2 months to be able to get it in, and I understood why it took so long. Everybody wants them, and during the pandemic, it's really hard to get stuff. But the problem with this one is that they did not send all the parts. We contacted them. They went back and said, okay, well, what if we give you a $5 discount? I'm like, no, I just want the part. Well, what if we give you a $15 discount? I'm like, we just spent 150 bucks on this thing, and we cannot use it. So back and forth, back and forth. We ended up just saying, fine, give us a discount. They didn't want to deal with it. We didn't want to deal with it. Certain companies, I'm not going to mention their names and where their origins are, but that's just how they do business, and it sucks. So we're going to fix this by welding these two together. Now, the original design of this thing is that it is, there you go, two separate pieces, and it comes with a coupler. Well, the coupler was missing, so what we're going to do is actually weld these two together. It's never going to be able to come apart, which is totally fine, because once it's together, and we're not going to worry about it. But we can't just throw a bead around that. It's not strong enough. You never know. Steph might go into beast mode and put a bunch of weight on there, or if I want to curl with it or whichever. So we're going to have to take this up to the belt sander and actually grind these down, because we want to bevel this. We don't want to just weld all that. So we're going to bevel it, run some weld around it, and I'm going to use this board here to try to keep it flat. But once I actually get it in there, I'll be able to put it on the table and weld it the rest of the way. Now, the only problem with this particular bar, they didn't bend it straight. This is by far some of the worst quality of stuff that I've seen in a really long time. Definitely would not recommend this particular brand. So anyway, so we're going to bevel that and get it welded. So let's go with that. All right, so we got our two pieces. You probably recognize this belt sander. It is made by Fine Tools, and it's going to make this into butter. It's going to be awesome. Also, don't forget your safety glasses. Yeah, let's get protection. All right, let's get grinding. All right, so all I'm trying to do is make like a 45-degree angle on this. We don't have to take it all the way down to a point, but we do want to have enough to where we can actually have enough weld up there to make it strong. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, as you can see, I did not make it all the way to a point, but I did bevel it, and that actually should be enough to do what we're trying to do. We're only going to put maybe a couple 100 pounds on this thing, and actually most of the time it's going to have 30 pounds tops. So anyway, I think that's should be pretty good. We can put a nice good bead of weld on there, but I'm going to do both sides so that when they butt up, I'll have plenty of space to fill with weld. and do some metallurgy. There you go. That should be plenty of weld space to do it. Let's go. All right, a couple things that you need to worry about when you're welding something like this. One, ventilation. Make sure you're in a well ventilated area. I'll probably go and turn the big fan on to actually get everything out of here. I'm not exactly sure what this thing is made of. This doesn't seem to be mild steel, but just as a precaution, let's get the air out. Also, wear gloves. Sometimes when I weld some small stuff, I don't wear it. I don't wear my jacket, but this is gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna wear my gloves. Try to get some leather ones. Don't go plastic. Plastic will melt and actually fuse to your skin. You don't want that. Also, all right, so I just got a little jacket here. Also got my helmet. So things that you're gonna need. Also, if you have never actually welded on a welding table, the great thing about this is that you can just take it, ground your table, and then I just put a holder here for my gun. But you can ground the table, and everything that's touching the table will complete the circuit, and then you don't have to sit there and keep putting grounds everywhere. Now in this particular case, since I got a wood here, that's actually going to isolate it. But when I first run my first couple beads, I'm going to have to ground it to the actual project because I have the wood there. Once I move the wood, I don't have to. So should be in good shape. Also, a couple things to think about. Move your gas cans. You don't want those things real close. This stuff is going to start splattering things everywhere, and we do not want the fumes to go boom. So let's move them. All right, so on this particular piece, it is so thick, we're going to have to put a lot of heat in there. So I got my little welder set to max. Maybe one day Lincoln will take a look at these videos and be like, you know, he needs a 220 welder. Let's go. Anyway, let's get welding and let's shoot some sparks. Okay, so I just made a couple passes on there, and each pass you're getting wider and wider. So let's take a look. All right, so you can see that would be one side. This would be the other side. So what we're trying to do is that you'll do a little bead, and then you do a little bit wider. Yeah, larger passes. And then what you're gonna do is actually fill this entire area up. All right. So let's keep filling and make it pretty. All right, so that was kind of a large weld for my little welder. Yeah, my welder here is pretty decent for like up to maybe 1/4 of an inch if I really slow down on it. This one here, it's a 1-inch bar, but it's not trying to load up suspension or anything like that. So I think we should be in good shape. If it ever cracks or breaks or anything like that, I will grind it back down and I'll take it to my buddy Eric's house. He's got a nice, I think it's a 180 or maybe 200 welder, and we'll be able to get a lot more heat into it. I only put in what I can. That's all I got. So anyway, we're gonna grind this up, paint it, because you gotta paint it or else it'll rust. And then when your wife puts it behind her head and gets it on her clothes, she's gonna be mad at you. So anyway, we're gonna grind this and you're gonna see what it looks like. Let's go. All right, so we got our bar. Keep your gloves on because this thing is really hot. And I need my glasses. Glasses! It's a good thing I still have my tool tower. So I can get my glasses. All right, so that doesn't look too bad. You can definitely tell right where I welded on some of the places, and I could go back and actually finish that off and put weld in there and kind of machine finish it. But for what we're doing, I think it'll be all right. It does need to cool off a little bit, and we'll throw some paint on there. I think I have some silver, chrome. Actually, I'm gonna fill these up. Yeah, I'll fill these up, paint it, and let you know what it looks like. All right. All right, I can't find my chrome stuff, but I got a nickel satin. Close enough. So there you go. I mean, you can definitely tell that I welded it together, but it's okay. I could finish it off, metal finish it a little bit more. But for what it's doing, I think we're in good shape. I think once it cools off a little bit more, we should be able to throw some weights on it. There you go. All right, so hopefully this helps you a little bit if you ever want to get into welding. Over at Weight Tech, I know that there is a really good program over there that they will teach you all about the particular types of metal. What do you do? What kind of welding are you trying to do? Brazing, everything. It is a really good school. If I ever get some time, I do want to take it because I do want to brush up on my skills. Everything that I've learned so far is basically self-taught, or I watch YouTube videos like you're doing. So anyway, keep going and go get a welder. Between the welder and the compressor and a cutoff wheel, those are the main things I use. And it is nice to have a belt sander, but you can do it with a cutoff wheel. A plasma cutter is really good, but you can still use that with a cutoff wheel. So just get a cutoff wheel and a welder, and you'll be amazed of how many things you can put together or make fit or fix manufacturing defects and how they do business. So now it's fixed, and hopefully later on tonight, if it ever cools off, we'll do some weightlifting and see if it'll hold. So until next time, keep tuning in, tell a friend, and let's go.